Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the south-afrifur podcast. You're listening to yours truly, Ivik Wolf, and
Good
my
save.
co-host Scratch Wolf. Thank you. You're welcome. And our guest this evening is Bravura Lion.
Evening.
Guten Abend, Barbara.
Obviously today we Abend.
Guten Abend.
Guten
Yeah,
Abend.
in German,
Is it-
guten
is
Abend, yeah.
Is it Guten Abend, or could you also say Gute Abend?
No, it's guten Abend.
Okay.
I'm taking a little bit of German, trying to see if I can.
To say it a little bit faster.
Good Abend. Okay, so what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be doing a little bit of fact-checking and things like that on facts that you may or may not know about music, considering that this is, I think, my Scratch, you haven't been on here for like how long?
Yeah, quite a while.
Weeks.
Yeah,
Miss
it's been a weird time.
How can I live without music?
No. I have my music. But, I mean, I haven't been on the music stream for a while.
Mm.
Like,
How can I live without you?
I can't survive. Just nah, bleh. I wouldn't survive with music. Damn it!
Yeah.
Noise.
I think I will cancel that sentence. First think, then talk.
No worries, man.
But yeah, so
So-
what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be looking at a couple of like pieces of information, some trivia, and things like that about music. We'll obviously also be taking requests for later, obviously this evening, at around about 9:30 or 9 o'clock, depending on how bored we get of the trivia that we give. And we'll obviously be taking a couple of requests, and we'll write them all down, and we'll try to find them for you, and then we'll play them from 9:30 onwards. Obviously, I'll throw in a couple of my own tracks there. Those of you who have been listening for a while now will probably know which tracks those are. Mostly metal, sometimes a little bit folky, sometimes a little bit. What do you call what? No, I've forgotten what the band's name is. What's that one band that Badge likes so much?
I have no idea. Mumford and Sons.
You know that one band that's so amazing. Yes, that one. I would love to listen to that song by that band.
The name of the band is The Band.
The name of the band.
Is The Band.
Well, I mean, there's Passenger as well. Caravan Palace.
Oh, Caravan Palace.
Sorry.
That's Electro Swing.
Yeah. Yeah, Electro Swing. Weirdly enough, I've actually gotten into what's the word? Glitch hop recently.
Glitch Hop is really nice, actually.
What is
Yeah,
glitch hop?
Glitch hop is. You remember the music that that Dante used to play?
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that helps a lot.
It's sort of it's game orientated with sort of like 8-bit tunes in the background, 8 to 32 to 64-bit.
Hmm.
Like tunes in the background with sort of a drum and bassy-esque feel to it. Now with Glitch Hop, it's more sort of hip-hop orientated, if I'm mistaken, Scratch?
Yeah. Sort of like
Yeah.
hip hop beats, except they sort of mix up the music by I wouldn't say inserting a lot of noise. Like they break up the rhythm a lot by putting in essentially. I wouldn't sort of the glitch kind of gives it away, but they put in some sort of some weird detours in the music, which actually gives it a very I don't know how to describe it. This very sort of disjointed and sporadic
Nos-
sound to it that I really like.
Would you say nostalgic to an extent?
I don't know,
considering that a lot of the music is sort of bases itself around the original kind of beat sets and things like that you'd find in a lot of games, like, you know, for instance, not necessarily Pac-Man, but Mega Man, for instance, or
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Because I
Is
know
that also
that
called
Sonic the
Electrowave?
Hedgehog.
Excuse me?
Electrowave.
Oh, Electrowave. I am unsure, to be dead honest.
from the 1980s synthwave music?
No, I
No,
think,
nothing.
yeah.
This is far more sort of recent. It's sort of a callback to well, we'd say like late 1980s, early 1990s, like Super NES games. The kind of music that you'd get there, that kind of, so like the drums, everything synthesized. Yeah, fair, but it's not synthesizer music, for instance. It's like 8-bit tunes. I'll play a track at some point tonight. I think that'll be on my list already. I'm going to write this down on a notepad. I'm going to write down a glitch hop song.
Yeah, anything from the Glitch Mafia is essentially a good option.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
think
Glitch
I do
Mob,
actually
not
have some
not Glitch
hop.
Mafia,
No.
Glitch Mob.
Yeah, okay. Are they glitch hop though? Because I know that they were a bit more sort of faster than the like music that I tend to listen to.
Not quite. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what I know. I know of sort of the Glitch Mob and Edit and Boreta, those kinds of people, but they're essentially the same. Like, yeah. It essentially comes down to the same genre. Like all of them just play glitch house. I think is closer to what they
Yeah,
are.
you see, there's. I think that's possibly the difference.
Yeah,
Like
glitch,
glitch
electro
house
gaze,
versus
IDM,
glitch
and
hop.
instrumental stuff.
Okay.
You guys
So,
listen to new retrowave?
New
is
retro
this a
wave.
German thing?
No, that's the newer form from synthwave or electrowave. New songs in the style from the 80s and 90s.
Oh no, I haven't tried
And what
that
does
yet.
it do?
It's music. It's just electro music, what you can hear in the old games, or reminds you to on Flash Gordon or stuff like that, or Back to the Future.
Ooh, okay, that's
Okay.
interesting. I'll give that a
I
listen.
will post the links so that you can have a look at it.
So what you're telling me to do is just to play synthwave music as well.
No, just that's the new form from electrowave or the 8-bit themed songs.
Okay. All right. So
Came
I mean, like,
popular on the last Euroforeigns where they were back to the 80s theme.
okay, because I think I think the best way to actually explain like glitch music, in essence, is you remember the ringtones from the 1990s.
Lol.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they started putting in like more than one sound on your phone rather than do 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 do, that kind of thing,
Like polyphonic
they would
ringtones.
have like, hey,
Like I think these are called like polyphonic ringtones or something like that.
yeah, when it was polyphonic ringtones, that was exactly what I was sort of thinking about. Like, so that's kind of, I think that's the closest that I can get to sort of explaining glitch hop.
There's a bit more to it than that, but yeah, I see where you're going though.
Yeah.
But yeah. But speaking of like 8-bit stuff and sort of nostalgic things from way back when, 8-bit, like I've really for quite a few years now I've really been into like 8-bit music, and especially sort of video game soundtracks, like the newer kind of stuff. Like Shovel Knight has a really cool soundtrack. The guy who did that is incredibly good, Jake Kaufman. I think that's well worth a listen if anyone here is into like the sort of old school NES soundtrack or SNES soundtrack kind of vibes. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. So, I mean, onto I think I'm just gonna randomly like start this entire thing.
Sure.
So as you guys might know, I know that Scratch knows this quite well. Bravura, you've probably heard me play it more than once. I love Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's literally been my favorite band since Scratch went.
Forever, since forever.
Like, since high school.
Yeah.
Since like grade 8, I've been massive fan of Iron Maiden. In fact, like it was Iron Maiden, Metallica, Iced Earth, and
Judas Priest.
Judas Priest, yes, and Blind Guardian were all of my like.
I said, oh yeah,
Blind Guardian. They were all sort of my introductions into metal when I was in grade 8. Like the first time that I was able to. Well, I used to buy a large amount of albums. Bravura, you would actually be surprised at the amount of Beach Boys albums I actually have and own.
You have Beach Boys albums?
I have Beach Boys albums. I have,
Really?
yeah,
The Beach
bought
Boys?
them in like bargain bins in America. Like I was in love with the Beach Boys. I was in love with the Beatles. I was in love with the Bee Gees. I was in love with, jeez, when my sister was busy listening to, the Miley Cyrus of her time, Britney Spears and Spice Girls. I was listening to Elvis Presley. I stole my dad's 1960s double album and would like listen to like Telstar over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like the greatest hits from the 60s. That's the kind of stuff that I used to listen to when I was really, really young. And it kind of grew towards Queen, and then I was sitting there going like, now, Queen has this amazing sort of guitar sound to it. And I went into into an album store, and I walked in and I was like, so I want something like Queen, but heavier. And the guy gives me a Nirvana album.
Okay.
And I was sitting there going like, yeah, no, Nirvana, I love this stuff. This is very, very, very depressing. I love it. It's amazing. I bought the album. I come back like about a month or two later because I used to get like pocket money to the point that I would only be able to say buy an album every 2 or 3 months, depending on how much money I used to get. It was 50 Rand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time round, I go back to the same place and I'm like, so, I like Nirvana, but they're just not heavy enough. They're not like up my sort of alley. This guy then pops me Pantera, and I'm like, no, this is too frightening. What's next? And puts down a Metallica album, and I'm like, okay, this is something I can listen to. And from there, like a large amount of my time, and I'm not sure how much Scratch actually knows this, because Scratch and I were already at this point becoming very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Through stalkerish. We've spoken about this on like 3 or 4 occasions,
Yeah,
but
we
we were
have.
becoming friends at that point. Scratch probably doesn't know how much time I actively spent in the mall. Well, you probably know how much time I spent in the mall, but of that time, I spent at least 3 to 4 hours in the CD shop, listening to different albums, trying to find which one I wanted to buy next.
Yeah. No, that was like a fun
Yeah.
thing to do for me as well. Just
Yeah.
crash in the mall, listen to some interesting stuff. Back then, I think I was really into System of a Down.
Oh yeah, you were.
Back when they were saying, God, are they still around?
System?
I'm somehow really different when buying music. I go in the shop,
Mhm.
look for a name that I know. The cover looks nice. Okay, buy it. That's the way how I bought my music.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah.
8 from 10 CDs were to Terry's crap. But 2 of them were good.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to
That's
at least
the reason why I listened to the entire album.
yeah. Well,
Like the first 20 to 30 seconds.
That sort of that's a good way to at least expand your like music repertoire, like the kind of stuff that you like. It's like, oh, like this is from a genre I'm not 100% like comfortable with, but it has a cool cover, so let's give it a swing.
The amount of times that I've made more than one mistake like that.
By buying something just on the cover.
Just on the cover, yeah. You're sitting there going like, I don't know this band. I like this cover. I really like this cover. I'm going to buy it. And you buy it and you're like, oh yes, it's in the metal and alternative section. It should be good.
Oh boy.
And like at that point, maybe I didn't necessarily like Arch Enemy that much or anything along the lines of that. But yeah.
Didn't work for you?
No, not really.
I got fluff on
Bravura,
Yeah.
from your like when you sort of enjoyed music or when you started like getting yourself into like the musical scene and things, what kind of music were you into, say, when you were, we'll say, 9 and appreciative of specific musics up until like now? How did your music sort of taste change? What brought you towards one side and the other side first?
Actually, it didn't really change. It's still the same. It started with the vinyl records collection from my dad, and he was listening to Kiss, the Beatles, Bee Gees, Pink Floyd, and I got a player for them, and I started listening to them, and I really enjoyed the music until today.
Mm. So you're still like an oldies boy in essence.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
a lot of the new stuff is crap.
All. I'd say it. Well, I say all. 90% of the new stuff is crap, and then you realize that there's this one song that you kind of really, really like that you randomly heard on the radio, and then you find out that it's Miley Cyrus, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't fucking like this song anymore.
Yeah. Well, there goes my life. Like,
I mean, there are cool artists out there like Adele or also Beach Boys. Blink 182. There's also some bands which I like.
Yeah, I was big into Blink back in high school, but
yeah, you were massive into Blink 182.
They were pretty cool. Like I liked the sound back then, but even their like the newer
you liked their
album
style because you dressed like a punk rocker.
No, I didn't. But what's his name? Even their newer album it's not that like same funny shit that they had when they were like on the Dude Ranch album and those kinds of stuff. The newer album's actually really sort of not really Angels and Airwaves and Boxcar Racer kind of vibes, but they've definitely grown up, and the songs are actually quite well written. But the voices are still, the Blink voices.
Mm. I mean, it's. I mean, look at South African music, for instance. It's not like, Folk of Polisikar and that entire Fun Fucking Castis group has in any way actually. Look, I mean, there's some really, really good songs out there, but remove the songwriter and everybody else's songs are kind of shitty.
Yeah, kind of.
Because I mean, the main songwriter for Fokov and Die was Fantastisch, for instance.
Yeah.
Van Cartel didn't write any of his own music. None of them did. They had one songwriter, and he was the only guy there.
Okay. I thought, who was the writer? Which one?
I can't remember.
Panther?
I think it was definitely not the drummer.
It's almost never the drummer. But yeah.
Recently got a song from South Africa, Boek van Blurk, Tina van Wyk. I think that's the name of the song. Do you know that song?
Boek van Blark and Tina van Wyk.
Yeah, that sounds correctly.
I don't know. I tend to steer clear of our South African Afrikaans folk music.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'll probably be stoned by anybody who's Afrikaans and proud and like listens to that music on a daily basis. The only time that I ever deal with any kind of any of that music is when it gets played at a rugby match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for me, there are some clubs like back when I was studying, some clubs that almost had just Afrikaans music and like not dance like as in like actual sulky langarm like dancing on the dance floor kind of turfers, which
oh goodness.
Yeah, that shit never worked for me, dude. But
Jannie en Sannie en 'n vrou gaan huis toe.
Yeah, fucking
some bullshit like that.
Yeah, it's horrible. For some reason Afrikaans people love like it's not really ballroom dancing, but it's like a sort of a formal kind of dance. Formal-ish, I suppose.
So,
yeah,
sokkie langarm.
Yeah, sokkie and langarm and shit like that. And
it's in essence it's a two-step.
Yeah. But yeah, for some reason people like that kind of stuff. And that music, Boek van Black is one of those people who sells that kind of music, and it does nothing for me. Like
is that Van Wyk?
Nothing.
Tina van Wyk, okay. Tannie Tina van Wyk.
No fuck. Sorry, that already sounds.
This comes out of 2011.
Ugh.
Is he something like Britney Spears for the American guys?
It's close. Yeah, in comparison with like, I think it's closer to sort of country music almost, like line dancing kind of thing, but there's actually it sounds, all of it sounds exactly the same. Like as soon as you hear one of those tunes, you immediately know like all of them, because because the drum progression is exactly the same. It's always this kind of like soppy ass love song, not even soppy, like very cutesy kind of love songs. Fucking
I've posted the link to the live chat for the people who are brave enough to listen to it.
ugh.
Um, ugh.
Yeah.
Written in 2011, guys. It's not the 1980s, although it looks like it comes out of there. Danny van Dyke. Oh my goodness me.
Remember the old TV ads where you should send an SMS with some numbers to get the newest, hottest phone songs in
Yeah.
2-bit?
Did you actually do that? I never did that. I always thought that I was going to get like conned out of my money.
No,
I never did it, but my sister, and she got a very high phone bill afterwards.
Yeah, because those things are not cheap. It's like, for us it was something like 5 rand or 10 rand for an for one, and like,
And it was really shitty songs.
yeah, but back then you couldn't just upload music to your phone if you wanted it as a ringtone or something.
Yeah.
Like you had to go, it had to be in a certain format, and yeah, so it was weird. That was a weird
One of the
era.
most popular phone songs or videos were this strange frog. Do you know that?
Crazy Frog.
Him?
Oh, Crazy
That
Frog.
thing.
Yeah, Crazy Frog.
Why?
Ring, ding, ding, ding,
Shut up!
ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah.
Like I immediately get agitated when I hear that. Ugh.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
how many times has that song been remixed? How many times has he come back? Over how many years?
It should be 0. The answer to that should be 0. But
It
it's
should
not.
be 0. But then again, the Backstreet Boys came back in 2015.
Yeah, I suppose.
Should have stopped in 2000.
Yeah. Here's
I need to Google this just for that bit of trivia. Backstreet Boys.
Here's sort of a bit of an interesting fact. When it was first released, Daft Punk's "Get Lucky" was the #1 song in iTunes in 14 countries. That is a lot. I love Daft Punk.
So, first point of interest: the Backstreet Boys have been around since 1995.
Yup.
At least that was their debut album, and their worldwide success as Backstreet and Backstreet's Back was there as well. Then there was the Millennium album. Black and Blue was one of their other albums. 2004, another album. 2006 to 2010, another album. 2 albums even. Richardson came back in 2012. They had an anniversary in 2015, or some bullshit like that, in documentary even.
Oh, really?
And then in 2015, the Dead 7 film. Has anybody heard of that?
The Dead 7. No.
Band members Carter Dorough, McLean, and McLean filmed a movie that Carter wrote entitled Dead 7. The film centers around a ragtag band of gunslingers operating during a post-apocalyptic zombie flick.
Wow. Really, really putting some fresh material out there.
They came out where the boy bands were really trendy, like the Village People.
Yeah. No, Village People was a lot earlier than that, was it? When was the Village People going around?
They started 1977.
77. Yeah, that's quite a bit of time before like what's his name? Before the Backstreet Boys. But yeah, the Village
But
People.
it continued 1978
Wow. Okay.
until today.
What was I gonna say? I mean,
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Dead 7 got a 3.1 on IMDb.
3.1
Which
out
is
of 10.
terrible.
Or 3.1 out of 100.
3.1 out of 10.
Okay.
But I guess 3.1 out of 100 would probably do is just as good. And is For the people who like this movie, you should also watch Zombies and
God.
Zombie Apocalypse and Dead Rising the movie.
Dead Rising the movie?
Mm-hmm.
That?
Yeah, Dead Rising.
Dead Rising was a
Endgame.
game, but is there a movie of it? Or a
Yeah,
movie like
Dead
it?
Rising Endgame.
Really? Okay.
Came out last year. Rated at a 4.7. Even better.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And it's in the same sort of franchise as the game, right?
It looks like it. There was a game before that as well, in 2015, called Dead Rising Watchtower.
Interesting. Huh.
Like
Dead
a
Rising
real
has
trash
people-
movie.
Yeah,
Most likely,
Jesse
yeah.
Metcalf plays in it.
I forgot who that is.
I don't care when you look at his face. It's... Wow.
Yeah.
My. Apparently we keep on getting lost in patches. Strange.
Oh, about zombie movies. Do you know Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, Shaun
Yeah,
of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead was an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, one of the best movies ever.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, that whole thing, like that trilogy of movies that they did is actually really good. I enjoyed Shaun of the Dead a lot. But yeah, you were saying, Ivik?
No, I'm saying that somebody who's listening actually mentions that we keep on dropping out at points.
Okay, I'm.
Oh, that could be maybe my microphone.
No. I'm checking the frame drops.
Okay.
I'm checking the frame drops, and everything is
Ah, okay.
okay here on this side. So I'll keep you guys posted. It doesn't look like we're like losing a lot of signal. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So the Backstreet Boys have a movie. That's an interesting piece of trivia.
Yeah,
Why is that even a thing?
That's what I don't want to hear ever.
So here's an interesting point of information. Those of you guys who know Slayer at all,
Yes.
like really, really heavy metal band,
Yeah.
the guitarist, Slayer, they're a, what do you call them? What would you call them? Thrash to almost, yeah, thrash metal would probably be the best term for Slayer. Their lead guitarist, Kerry King, was a keen breeder of show dogs.
Interesting.
Very.
You always find out like interesting, like weird things about. I wouldn't call them celebs, but like people like this. There's always that one weird thing that they have going on, like, yeah, this guy being like a breeder of show dogs or something, or yeah, that kind of stuff.
The title track of Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction album was awarded the Humane Society's Genesis Award in 1993 for raising awareness about animal rights.
Megadeth.
Megadeth.
Okay.
I get the feeling that Countdown to Extinction was actually about human beings, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually look. Countdown to Extinction lyrics. Endangered species caged in fright, shot in cold blood, no chance to fight. The stage is set, now pay the price. And ego boost, don't think twice. Technology, the battle's unfair. You pull the hammer without a care. Squeeze a trigger that makes you man. Pseudo safari, the hunter's can't. Okay, actually, well, fair enough.
Yeah. It's like, go Megadeth.
Pseudo safari, the hunters can. That's amazing. The hunters canned, all are gone, all but one, no contest, nowhere to run. This in 1993, coming from the most, unfortunately, I'm going to say this, those of you guys who will disagree with me, pig-headed, like, lead guitar, or, like, lead singers and, like, band frontmen ever. He's so full of himself. It's not even funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate people who are like that. But, yeah.
Mm.
Then again,
Isn't it like Euro pop or something like that in Europe right now?
Eurodance?
Group pop.
The Euro something.
Is it Eurodance?
Where all the people. Is it?
What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the contest?
Like where. where all the best bands in Europe get together and like play
Ah,
music
Eurovision.
and then
you
get
mean
voted
the
on.
Eurovision
Sorry?
Song Contest?
Yeah, Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, Eurovision. Yeah.
That's that's an interesting thing. Tell us about that. Like, what's the deal
Yeah.
behind it?
Actually, the thing is that you have a local contest on your country where maybe 10 to 15 bands start, and the people and the TV is actually saying, okay, you're the best, and you're the second, you're the third, and the very best is going to the Eurovision Song Contest, and there is a pre-show to the Eurovision Song Contest to get the best 20, and after that there is the live show with the Eurovision Song Contest where you can vote what's the best song or the best country with the best song.
Interesting.
So, speaking about Eurovision, in 2006, those of you guys who might have been following all the way back then, in 2006, a band called Lordi
Yeah.
won Eurovision. They
Yep.
were a hard rock, heavy metal, shock rock band
Yep.
where they dressed up in some of the most interesting clothing. If you thought that furries were strange, then this picture might shock you.
Send that through on Skype.
Oh, what? They played on the Eurovision Song Contest?
They won the Eurovision Song Contest in 2006 with a song
What?
called Hard Rock Hallelujah.
I know that song.
Yeah, I love it.
It was Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Seems-
2006.
There's a link to the Wikipedia sort of thing in the chat at this point. Yeah, Lordi won in 2006. It was, I think, possibly the first time a metal band actually won Eurovision, and Eurovision's been going since what, 1950 something?
Mhm.
Um,
God damn, that was their outfit?
1970?
What was that?
Wow. That's what
Yeah.
they wore on stage.
Yeah, that's what they wore on stage. If you have a look
Ooh.
at the furry.fm thing, those of you who are listening, go to furry.fm, find the live chat, click on the link there to the Wikipedia link that I've actually sent there. It is just below the Bok van Blaak, Tannie Tina van Wyk, which I would suggest nobody ever listens to. Have a look at that, and that's what they wore on stage in 2006, I believe.
Wow.
No, this is in 2009, but assume that their entire getup was pretty much close to that anyway.
Damn.
Anyway, Eurovision Song Contest started in 1965 in Switzerland, in Lugano.
1965. That's... Well, okay, hold on. Wasn't there something about some country's revolution starting when someone sang something in the Eurovision Song Contest?
Oh, that might actually be interesting. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna search for Eurovision.
Yeah.
Vision, song. What would you call that? Upheaval?
Is it? I'm not sure.
Anyway, did you know that the land who wins the Eurovision Song Contest is hosting the next Eurovision?
Oh, is that what the incentive is?
Huh.
Okay.
What, mass hysteria?
Oh,
A
here.
warlike song for
Here.
Europe.
Here, actually.
2006.
Yeah.
Eurovision, yeah.
I think it's called the Carnation Revolution. That was here. It says here on Wikipedia. There are two secret signals in the military coup. First, the airing at 10:55 p.m. of I'm gonna butcher that name, so I'm not gonna say it. It's a certain song by Paulo de Carvalho, I think. Portugal's entry in 6 April 1974 Eurovision Song Contest, which alerted the rebel captains and soldiers to begin the coup. So yeah.
No shit.
Yes, that's interesting. So they use one of the Eurovision, Portugal's Eurovision song entry as a signal to start a revolution.
Huh.
Revolution de Cravos. Of Cravos.
That's interesting. Huh. So
Yeah, but-
here's another piece of interesting information. Now, most of us probably know Motorhead.
Lemmy.
Lemmy, lead singer, yeah. When Motorhead's Lemmy, or lead singer Lemmy, tried to follow Keith Richards' lead and get his blood changed, the doctors refused. They said Lemmy's blood was so toxic with drugs that normal blood would probably kill him.
Wow.
What?
A tribute to Lemmy. The worst thing is that this man lived until, what, 80-something?
Yeah.
Lemmy passed away, like, last year, I remember.
Yeah. I don't get how does Keith Richards and how do people like that do that? It's like every cigarette you smoke, you give another minute to Keith Richards, kind of thing.
Or to Lemmy, because Lemmy died at 4 days after his 70th birthday.
Oh boy.
So
then,
he tries to change his blood into clean blood.
but
And
that-
they deny him, they tell him that his blood is too toxic, and he still lives to 70, guys.
you see. Some people just have
I think
overlap.
drugs will be always a huge problem at the bands. I mean, as an example, Woodstock. That was a party for drugs.
Mm.
And hippies.
No, fair
I mean,
point.
what's it? Ronnie James Dio died at the age of... Yes, Cat.
At the age of
Let me see. He died at the age of 67. And worst thing is that he had, like, what's the word? He had cancer at the time. And he literally told the people, he's like, look, I'm not going to go to hospital unless I'm, like, super sick. I'm going to continue rocking until I die. And he
which
did. Also credited for popularizing the metal horns.
Oh, that because that's from Dio.
Yeah. Yeah. Ronnie James Dio also sang in a 1950s doo-wop band.
Doo-wop, okay.
Yeah, doo-wop band, properly. Let me see. He sang for a band called the Vegas Kings.
Mm-hmm.
He was on bass guitar for a while in 1958. The band again changed their name from Ronnie and the Rumblers to Ronnie and the Redcaps.
Interesting.
But yeah, was this literal, and this guy's short and Italian. I'm pretty sure he stood at like 5'2".
That's short.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Ronnie James Dio had a doo-wop band for a while.
Craziest musician you know.
The bassiest.
Craziest is the bassiest.
Craziest.
Craziest musician that we know particularly.
I probably
Yeah.
just that you know of.
What are? Okay. Look, honestly, I'm gonna have to say Ozzy Osbourne, but that's only because popular belief says that he snorted a line of ants and then drank somebody else's piss,
Yeah, well,
Whoa.
and also bit off the head of a bat, but didn't know it at the time. He thought it was a prop.
did he think it was a prop?
Oh my.
Nice.
Lemmy's also up there with craziest musicians.
Do you know Conchita Wurst?
Conchita, who?
Wurst.
No.
Never heard.
That's an Austrian musician.
Oh, this one. Yeah, go ahead,
He
go
won
ahead.
the Eurovision Song Contest in 2014, I think. This male as female singer.
He was the drag queen that sang at the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes, that's
Oh.
Conchita Wurst.
Ah,
But that's
okay.
he's, she, them, they.
Yeah.
That beard looks painted on.
That's all you have to say.
That's it. I'm sorry.
It looks painted on.
No, that's an
He
actual
sh-
beard, but it looks like it's stuck on somehow.
It kind of does.
What
But-
hands have you, man?
Ugh. But yeah,
Actually, she, it is not singing too bad.
mm,
Do... They, what? Hold on. Was Conchita? No.
what?
Did they win Miss Austria?
I don't know.
Wait, what? Miss Austria? No, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
send
so.
it here.
What happened?
No, I
Hold on.
don't think that she got Miss Austria.
Doesn't sound like it.
Click on that. Click on that. Okay, never mind. It's got a redirect. Return to the previous page. There's a picture of Conchita Wurst in a bikini
Mm-mm.
with an Austria, beauty pageant thing.
Maybe she was part of some issue. They were part of some thing. Singles, no. Subsequent career. Oh. Okay.
Wonderwurst.
Really?
Yes.
No, I don't think that she got Miss Austria. No.
Conchita Wurst should have been Wonder Woman. Because that beard, though.
But she attended to Miss Universe.
Yeah, attended.
Yeah, but didn't won it.
Yeah. Oh well, at least she tried. Britney was weird for a while. Like the whole shaving her head
No,
thing.
really? Yeah, that was... But I mean, that was sort of like a stint of crazy that was... I don't know.
Britney
It's
is
the same
always a
thing
little
as-
bit crazy.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, is she so stupid, or is this only a game for her?
I think it's a game.
Who knows? Maybe she needed to do something to just like bring her back into the limelight or something. I don't know. But she's not doing much now.
So, you guys remember Tool?
Yes.
Like the number
Tools-
two?
The
No,
band
Tool. As in like the instrument to tighten nuts or something like that.
Tool. The band Tool.
Tool, the band Tool. Their 2001 song Mantra
Uh-huh.
essentially consists of a slowed down recording of singer Maynard James Keenan squeezing his cat.
Wow.
Poor cat.
That sounds like one of those like Foley stories, like how they discovered certain sounds. Like what's his name? You know the sound. Excuse me. The sound of the lightsaber. Like that was initially like recreated by putting a electric razor under a bowl and then just sort of lifting the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they did the lightsaber sounds in the beginning, like how Foley artists made that.
Oh, that's true.
And the whole like the Star Trek doors opening like that, right?
Mhm.
That's just paper being slid in and out of an envelope.
What?
Yeah, if you just take paper and slide it out of an envelope, it makes that like sound that kind of sounds like the Star Trek doors. That's how they made that sound.
Write it out.
Yeah. Foley's an interesting art.
Yeah.
What else?
Elvis Presley, the man who sold the most CDs.
Like,
Wasn't he beaten recently?
by whom?
From who?
Michael Jackson?
Maybe.
Nah, I think Elvis Presley was on number 1. Oh, let's Google it.
Most album sales. Album sales of all time.
Mm. But Elvis was like huge in his day. Like, holy
It's the Beatles. The Beatles have...
Beatles.
the Beatles.
Oh, wait, let's see. That's the list of best-selling music artists.
Yeah. Huh. Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd are on here, so that's interesting.
Elvis has sold over 1 billion records worldwide.
Yeah. Apparently, the Beatles claim that. Yeah, Elvis Presley, total certified units that sold is 211.5 million units. That is a lot of fucking music. And just above him is the Beatles with 270.8 million units. That is a lot of music to ship. Wow.
A lot of money.
Yeah, and a lot of money. That's for sure. Jeez. And that's certified.
Did you know that
Yeah, go ahead.
the lead singer for Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst,
Hmm.
was a tattoo artist?
That does not surprise me.
And he did Korn, the Korn bassist Fieldy. One of the tattoos was done by Fred Durst.
That's interesting. Did not know that. I like the lead singer from Korn. I like the mic that he uses. That like big ornate silver thing, the mic stand.
Yeah.
Probably
Sort of like a call out to the 1950s sort of swing period, almost.
What's that? It probably has a name though. I can't find it now.
Huh.
Who else?
Ibik, do you listen to Santana?
Carlos Santana, of course.
Oh, you're the only first person who listens to Santana.
Santana is like one of the most like amazing progressive like guitarists in the world. Like, I mean, honestly, if we have to put this into sort of perspective, all of the like progressive sort of like guitarists that we have these days, you know, your Joe Satriani, your Steve Vai, your John Petrucci, and so on and so forth. All of that sort of like flair for guitaring, to a large extent, I'm more than certain, was inspired by Santana.
But the music from Santana is somehow special. Either you like it or you don't like it.
It definitely is interesting. I don't necessarily think that it's not bad music. The thing is that I guess a lot of people don't necessarily like that sort of Latin flair that Santana definitely puts within his sort of musical, I think, virtuoso-ness. In as much as, I mean, if you look at Lenny Kravitz, for instance, obviously he draws inspiration from, I'm forgetting his damn name, over the Watchtower, something, Watchtower.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, yeah. Now, you look at somebody like, and that's more of an interesting thing for me, is that how many black guitarists do you actually know? I mean, Lenny
Bill
Kravitz.
Murphy.
Who Murphy?
Bill Murphy.
Dean Murphy, yeah.
Bill Murphy.
Bill Murphy, okay. That's actually going to be an interesting one for me.
Murphy.
Black metal, not black metal.
I don't.
How do you do this now?
What?
What? I'm looking for black metal guitarists. Who am I going to find? A whole bunch of white people.
African American
Eddie Murphy.
guitarists.
No, not Eddie Murphy. How's he called?
B.B. King. Chuck Berry.
Oh, yeah.
B.B. King was good, yes, of course.
Prince.
Was it Chuck Berry?
No, Chuck Berry. Yeah. Prince.
Prince, yeah.
Who else?
John Lee Hooker was not black.
Yeah, Johnny
Or?
Hooker was black. Johnny Hooker was black.
Ah.
Well, is, I suppose. Tracy Chapman.
Tracy Chapman was also.
Mhm.
You're right.
Yeah, she's a guitarist. Ike Turner. Um,
Derek Green, Ernie C. Apparently.
Tina Turner?
Yeah, was she
Tina Turner was
guitarist?
Mostly singing, I think, but she also played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Andre 3000, if you count him. He's a guitarist.
Who?
Andre 3000 from Outcast. Yeah, okay. Lauryn Hill, Curtis LeMay. Quite a few, actually.
There should be, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why I'm sort of asking this question.
Brian McKnight.
Particularly because Slash, technically, apparently,
Is Slash
is African American. Slash is African American.
like Guns N' Roses Slash?
Guns N' Roses Slash,
Wow.
I believe. He's here in African Americans in hard rock and heavy metal. Slash.
I think you find many black guitarists or singers in the blues and jazz genre.
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah. Scratch.
Yes.
Tom Morello.
Tom Morello.
Yeah, lead guitarist for what's it? Google. Tom Morello. He was in what's that game? Are you African American? Are you sure? No, he's just American.
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, Rage Against the Machine. Okay. I haven't heard Rage Against the Machine in like ages, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Are they even doing anything? Like, did they not stop
Oh,
somewhere?
Morello is also part of Audio Slave, or was part of Audio Slave,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that
and
just...
is now also part of Prophets of Rage.
okay, is that what he's doing now?
And he was also a touring musician with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Huh. Tom Morello's awesome, though.
Apparently. Like, I
Oh, he's
haven't...
Italian-Irish. There's no way.
Sorry, go
He's
ahead.
Italian-Irish.
Go? Bravura, go ahead.
Did you also listen to Dean Martin?
Dean Martin.
My father used to be a big fan, or is probably still a big fan of Dean Martin. It was always a fight between my parents as to whether it was Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin being the better of the two singers.
I mean, they're both very good.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I prefer Dean Martin because his vocals are cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
But in that same sense, I prefer Frank Sinatra for his ability to pause.
His sort of cadence in the song itself.
Yeah,
So,
he had amazing cadence for singing. Live singing, like, tell you what, when it comes to being a recorded singer, Dean Martin is better. When it comes to being a live singer, Frank Sinatra is better.
Okay, let's bring B.B. King to the game. What do you say to B.B. King?
Well, I mean, I think we just spoke. Didn't we just speak about B.B. King?
Yeah, I mean in comparison to Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra.
Was he part of the Rat Pack? I can't remember.
I think it was more on blues, less country.
Yeah.
I like B.B. King, though.
I haven't... Why have I not... I can't think I've heard any B.B. King songs now that I think about it. Yeah.
B.B. King. Let's go for most well-known song, most famous song. Why not? Let's go with that. B.B. King sang "The Thrill Has Gone, Rock Me Baby, You Upset Me Baby. To know you is to love you," I believe. Is it? Yeah. To know you is to love you. No, but that's Bobby. What?
Oh,
Why is that there?
Oh, apparently he did. Is you is or is you ain't my baby. I know that song.
That's him. Yes. Is you is and is you ain't my baby. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
A lot of his songs have the word "baby" in it.
Apparently, this guy looks like he
You
really
rock me.
enjoys himself.
Yeah. Rock Me Baby, You Upset Me Baby, Since I Met You Baby. I'm assuming that there's going to be one called Baby Baby. I don't know. No, but BB King is awesome. I have large amounts of respect for him. Also, the fact that he lived from 1925 to 2015.
That's quite a run.
An amazing one.
You know that Patsy Cline and Ray Charles also did country?
Patsy? What?
Patsy Cline and Ray Charles.
Country music. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm very, very ill-versed in my country music.
Same here. Like I know a decent bit of jazz and stuff, but not so much country music.
Okay, example for Patsy Cline. Did you play GTA San Andreas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know the song Free Cigarettes in an Ashtray?
That song rings a bell. I never really listened to K Rose or K Dust where they had that on though. But if you play it to me, I will most likely sort of know.
Yeah, it was a song on K Dust, and that song was from Patsy Cline. She died in 1936.
Yeah.
Very old song.
I'll take a listen to it. Maybe I know it. But yeah, that game had a lot of like an awesome soundtrack, and some well-known people acting in it as well. I mean, I think is it it's either K Dust or K Rose. I'm leaning more towards K Rose. Axl Rose was the DJ for that.
Axl Rose.
Axl Rose.
What? The DJ?
Axl Rose was the DJ on, I think it was K Rose in GTA San Andreas.
Oh right, you're right.
That
My
Rose,
favorite
yeah.
video was Radio X.
Yeah, Radio X.
I always listen to the metal one.
There's also that one.
Or forced you to listen.
SFUR also had like that like weird 80s electro or like whatever, like early 90s 80s electro stuff going on. That was really funny as well. I actually want to see who there was a lot of big people. I mean, for fuck's sake, Samuel L. Jackson was Officer Tenpenny. There was a lot of like famous people in that.
Yeah, no, it was possibly the most underrated or underrated like people, the most famous people of their time in that thing for no apparent reason, aside from the fact that it was just GTA.
Yeah, that was a good thing though.
His Strutter was awesome song in San Andreas.
Who?
What a Toto, Hold Your Line.
Oh, that was an awesome song. So many good songs from that era, like wow. Who are these other people? Ice-T? Fuck, you're shitting me. Ice-T was in there?
Yeah, Ice-T is a guitarist.
No, I mean Ice-T as it was in GTA.
Oh, wasn't Ice-T also a guitarist?
Maybe.
Something like that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
When it comes to like people, like random people who've had bands,
Yeah.
one of the stranger ones is Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon had a band.
Who is Kevin?
You don't know Kevin Bacon?
No.
He's the pork of everything.
Okay.
Was it a Kevin Bacon? Yeah, Kevin Bacon band.
Question mark.
Yes. He has a band, and guess what the fucking name is?
What?
Guess.
Bacon?
Don't search for it. Just guess.
I don't know. I honestly
The
don't.
Bacon Brothers.
Really? Come on, dude. Kevin. Fuck my life. Kevin Bacon is an actor in a lot of movies. Played in The Following, Search for Tomorrow, Mystic River, Hollow Man, Apollo 13, X-Men First Class. Where was he there?
Rock something?
Huh?
He was also he starred alongside that woman who never looks like she ages in a rock movie in 1994. I played in.
You tell me. I have no idea.
2001. There was a 2000 movie, wasn't it? Must have been. I watched it in like several. How's it that I forgot this bloody name?
Was Kevin Bacon in that movie?
Kevin Bacon was in this movie.
Okay.
He played like the guy who replaced.
Waiting.
Or Vicky, I don't know.
Yeah, we've dropped out a bit. Whoa. Yeah, sorry, you were like, mic is roboting a little bit. Whoa. Sorry. Yeah. Suddenly Skype's like freaking out. Like your guys' sound is coming through really strange.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, it's a little weird here for me now. Yeah, shall we?
I think it was a little bit strange. Oh.
Yeah. Shall we just cut it here? I think. I mean,
For a second, we can come back.
okay, hold on. Guys, we're just quickly gonna cut the stream. Back in a minute.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back. Apologies for that. I just quickly had to restart the Skype call. Skype was acting a bit weird.
I have a request from Doge, but apparently it was supposed to be before that when I was roboting.
Okay, well.
Which is, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Kevin Bacon was in Footloose, of course. Fuck my life.
Oh, yeah. And he was in Hollow Man.
Yes, he was.
Was it a direct-to-video movie? There's obviously that idea of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. But that's just like a 6 degrees of separation, just with someone's name slapped on it. And you call it you call it an actor's bacon distance.
How far away from bacon are you?
Essentially. Like, Kevin Bacon obviously has a bacon distance of 0. Anyone who's worked with someone who's worked on a movie with Kevin Bacon has a bacon distance of 1. Anyone who's worked with someone who has worked with Kevin Bacon on a movie has a bacon distance of 2. So, yeah. So by that logic, what's his name? Michael Fassbender and the other guy, John McAvoy, both have a bacon distance of 1. So,
you're listening to.
Yeah?
No, go ahead, Bravura.
You're listening to heavy metal and hard rock, huh?
That's correct. It's Mark Wahlberg. Never mind. I don't necessarily understand why the two of them are always so close together.
Well, yeah,
Mark Wahlberg has to have like a bacon count of like -3.
Something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I listen to heavy metal and thrash. What the hell? League of Legends call out for no reason. Thrash metal, mostly 1980s based metal. Iron Maiden, like I said beforehand. Blind Guardian, like mostly metal, but like nothing too intense on vocals because I tend to like vocal style more than I. And even then, like sometimes you can find something like Arch Enemy for me, and I can go like, yeah. Granted, I didn't like it back then. I didn't like it when I was like 14 or 15. And sometimes I even did. Panther is pretty awesome. Slipknot is okay. Slayer is pretty cool. Yeah. So a lot of like bands that came out between the 1980s and 90s. A lot of the bands that have come out now when it comes to like progressive metal. So, sheesh.
You missed
Many.
one name.
Yeah. If
Ozzy
you tell
Osbourne.
Black Sabbath.
darling.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about Ozzy Osbourne that I can't necessarily get behind. I can get behind Tony Iommi as the lead guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, not for Ozzy Osbourne, but for Black Sabbath. Tony Iommi is literally the godfather of the metal riff. Many people will say this, many people will agree to this. By the time, like, other metal bands started getting popular around Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi had pretty much written every single riff that you've listened to. At least the vast basis of it.
Fair point.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not
Right.
not a big fan of metal. Like, yeah, there's some good stuff out there, and again, it would be the stuff that's around that same era, like the 1980s kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's especially the sort of like, I can I say like epic metal, Dragon Force kind of stuff. Like, not a fan. Or whatever.
It gets a bit much. I can agree.
It's very rich. So yeah.
Yeah. It's like trying to eat like an extremely rich say butternut soup,
Mm-hmm.
and then following it up with, I don't know,
Like
the entirety of a chocolate fondant.
yeah. It's too much. It's for me personally. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Napalm, a band called Napalm Death appeared on a UK children's show, aptly named "What's That Noise?" And needless to say, those kids were never the same again.
Wow.
Oh my.
Why do metal bands always have shitty band logos? Like,
Not all of them.
dude, okay. Yeah, let me
Give us
just
an
look
example.
for it. Well, okay. Metal band logos. Like, all of them just look like chicken scratch.
It depends on what kind of metal band you're talking about. If
Like,
you're talking about all the death metal bands, yes.
Yeah, like
If your logo can be read, it's not heavy enough.
yeah, like that's the thing. Stuff like Slayer and Metallica, obviously, like you know who that is. But I'm looking at the stuff that I just found on Reddit, and I'm like, what is this? It looks like a bunch, like it just looks like someone threw flame decals on everything. Like everything is dripping. It looks like a bunch of sticks.
Picks or it didn't happen.
I'm sending it through to you guys on Skype. Like,
Hmm.
like I don't know.
Of them looks like they just wrote their name in Word and checked out the coolest font, and that's the logo.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Not even a font.
For those of you who...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's... yeah. Well, look, I can read Diaboli.
That's it.
Uh,
Like all the rest, I have to go search for it. Like, what is this one? Ayat. That's not a word. It doesn't look like a word. It looks like a diagram of a root system of a tree.
It looks like somebody actually attempted to put down Ayat, but their pen was so leaky that nobody even knows.
Yeah, like they wrote the whole thing at like a 90-degree incline.
Yeah.
What is this?
Algaeon Mortualia. Yes. Farsot. What is that?
You
I don't
tell
even
me
know.
anything. Like, ugh.
Look, this band called Denouncement Pyre,
Yeah.
like the biggest logo right in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't make out the letters that make up the word. Actually, wait, I can. I can see a D. I can see an N.
Mm-hmm. You have to look
I can
really
see an
carefully.
O. I can see a U, another N, and then it just turns into what the fuck. There's
Yeah.
a T. Ha ha. And the rest of the word looks like fury rather than pyre.
Oh my word. What is Who is this supposed to be?
Are you sending it to us on Skype again?
Actually, let me just find this page
Okay.
first. Metal
Well,
bands need to get their shit together.
Besides heavy metal to go to something smooth, Celtic rock. Do you listen to Enya?
Enya isn't necessarily rock.
Yeah, more Celtic, I would say.
It's definitely Celtic music. I get that, but there is actually a large amount of Celtic metal out there, and Celtic rock. If you consider there's a Celtic punk band. Scratch, you probably know them quite well.
Mm-hmm.
They sang Salty Dog.
That's not.
It's Celtic punk.
Hold on. Not Thin Lizzy. Not the Dropkick Murphys.
No, but close.
In that genre.
Yeah. Sail away with a ball and chain.
Yeah. Damn it, man.
Flogging Molly.
Flogging Molly, that's the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
I'm
here,
actually going to play some flogging tonight. I think that's a good idea.
yeah, so here is a top 20 list of the worst band logos of all time. Just skip straight to number 1. Like it's not words. It doesn't look like anything. The band's called Waking the Cadaver or something like that.
There's one called Gay Dad. That's great. A Marmite logo.
Nice.
Stained, breed, naked aggression. Okay. Civil death. What the hell is that?
You tell me.
What the hell is Anal Blast? I remember that band.
Really?
I have a couple of their covers.
Wow.
They're terrible.
They're horrible. They're simply shit.
Spaceman 3, Hideous Manglius, Current 93, 13 Bleed Promises. What kind of a...
I know.
What kind of a psychedelic spider lettering? Dire Straits, fair enough.
Number 1, you see that?
It's a tree. It's a bush. It's a dead bush.
For anyone listening, Waking the Cadaver has the single worst band logo. Like it literally just looks like you pulled a sapling out of the ground and you shake the ground off of its roots and there's a band logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word.
You have to correct me. Enya is not Celtic. It's
What?
New Age.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be considered Celtic in some ways.
To a degree, yeah. Yeah, no, she can be considered Celtic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. An interesting story. So the lead singer for a band called Steel Panther, and I've mentioned this before on my show during playing, like in between playing music.
Mm-hmm.
The lead singer for Steel Panther, a band that actually came out in like the early to late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, appeared in that movie Rockstar that I was talking about as a person who was like just terrible at singing to begin with while they were doing like auditions for their new frontman.
Mm-hmm.
And then also was a guest professor in English and the arts at Berkeley University. And he has some of the most explicit lyrics that I've heard in a while. And I say explicit as in sexually explicit, in that a large amount of the songs that I want to play on the radio, I know that if I had to feel in any way inclined to play it, I would have to do it like after 12 a.m. rather than after 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's keep him off the radio for a bit.
Yeah.
But speaking of,
The
do we
lead
have any
singer for
requests?
Wasp, yes?
Do we have any requests yet?
Oh, yes. Do we have any requests for music, by the way? Those of you guys who are looking or watching and listening and things like that, we are open to requests. Obviously, during the music stream as well, we'll be playing a couple of songs. I'm obviously going to be playing a Glitch Hop song and Flogging Molly, a Flogging Molly song. Those are things that I've written down so far. Any requests from your side, quickly, just since we're talking about them?
Something from Jack Black.
Something from Jack Black. But you mean Jack Black as just Jack Black singing alone, or Jack
Tenacious.
Black as in...
Tenacious D.
From the band Tenacious D.
Yeah, okay. Tenacious D.
And what do
Tenacious
I
D.
want? What do I want?
What do you...
The funny thing about Jack Black is I first saw the movie School of Rock, and I didn't knew that he was actually really a singer.
Yeah, he is
in heavy
actually.
band.
He's not a bad singer. He's pretty decent. Anything from Daft Punk for me, please.
Daft Punk, okay. Daft Punk actually has a couple of interesting rock-ish albums now as well.
I don't
That's
know how I
Daft Punk.
feel about the whole X featuring Daft Punk stuff. Like, Discovery, hands down, is their best album for me. But I'm not so much a fan of like the new one, that Random Access Memories. Purely because it doesn't sound as much like the old Daft Punk that I like. But the songs on there are good. Just not Discovery level.
Sorry.
No worries. You okay?
That was weird. I'm fine.
Don't die.
I have a request from Badge as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be playing Bebop-A-Lula.
Okay.
So I actually believe, and I spoke to Badge about this earlier because I was talking to him about the show, and I was gonna try to find a Bebop-A-Lula metal cover.
Okay. Good luck with that.
What is this? The retarded rats.
Wow. Okay.
Sounds like a punk band.
Kind of a little bit it does, yeah. Do you think we can start putting the stream on, start doing the music thing?
Well, I mean, we can, honestly. Obviously, Dirty Paws for Doge as well, of course, which I have. Dirty Paws. Cool.
Really weird song names out there.
The Stray Cats did a Bebop-A-Lula cover. Paul McCartney did a Bebop-A-Lula cover.
Really?
Gene Vincent did a Bebop-A-Lula cover. Jerry Lee Lewis, obviously. Elvis did Bebop-A-Lula as well. A band called Demented Argo did Bebop-A-Lula. As well as the Everly Brothers. Ugh. Sorry.
Not a fan?
The Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
Tell me again how much I don't like them.
I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know you had some aversion against them.
Have you heard their name?
The Everly Brothers.
It's like me trying to listen to a band called Cocoon. Velvet Cocoon, at that.
Okay.
Or Owen no, that's just weird. Judas Iscariot. I would totally listen to that band.
Oh, you used to listen to Judas Priest, so nah.
Yeah, but that's Judas Priest. The thing is that Judas Priest versus Judas Iscariot, where I can't even read the name of their label, because that means that they're just so heavy.
So heavy.
So heavy. There's another request here. The Naked and Famous with Hearts Like Ours. I'm going to copy and paste that. That sounds like a good idea. If you guys are listening, obviously we'll be doing this throughout the, or I'll be doing this throughout the stream as well. So I'll be putting this stuff in, and I'll try to, what's the word? Figure a way to, I don't know, make them all fit. I say fit as in like musically sort of blending with one another, which is that thing that I'm so terrible at, because sometimes I play, you know, a bebop song or like a folk song, and then directly after that, like I play, you know, Screaming for Vengeance.
Here's something you can try and find that just crossed into my mind for no good reason. Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Cool. Yes, maps. Should be able to find that pretty easy.
Cool.
The stray cat. Anything else from your side, Bravura? What do you like? A song that you might also? I'm going for 2 songs.
Hold the line.
Oh, nice.
The what now?
Toto.
Hold the Line by Toto.
Hold the line. Okay.
Not line, line.
I want to hold the line.
Or
he's listening anyway.
or maybe much better, Personal Jesus from Depeche Mode.
Oh, yes. That's a good song.
Okay, but should I do the cover version by Marilyn Manson or
No, Depeche Mode.
the Depeche Mode?
That's the better one, I think.
I don't know. I think that Marilyn Manson actually did that song a lot of justice.
Never heard the cover version.
You've never heard the cover version?
No.
Oh, darling, you're gonna have a great time.
Mm-mm.
I'll play them. Look, what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play them directly after one another.
Panther.
Okay.
Huh? And then we can let the crowd decide.
Okay.
Sounds fair.
Shaman's Harvest in Chains, of course, is a thing. Harvest in Chains. I'm obviously going to be putting these in between. Those of you who are listening, again, if you're actually on stream, that means you, Leandra. That means you, Wolful. That means you, Snifix. Is it Snifix or Sniffix? Bravura?
I think Sniffix
Sniffix.
or Terrador.
Terrador, yeah. That means you guest number 506 from Cape Town. That means you guest 730 from Berlin. I'm calling you guys. That means you, Brastos. You actually haven't. Has he? He has. He has requested a song before. I think I may have played it. I may have forgotten. But I haven't seen Brastos in ages. Like, I remember him from, like, what, months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember Brastos, Bravura?
Rastos is a member from us.
Is he?
Yes.
I've never... What? He's what?
Yeah, he's a moderator here.
I'm going to stop talking. Okay. So we got a couple of songs like that. If you guys actually know, Twisted Sister... True Metal Tough Guys Manowar told in an interview that Twisted Sister were sissy boys in makeup. Dee Snider and company challenged the loinclothed ones to a street rumble. Perhaps wisely, Manowar did not show up. Interesting thing also, Dee Snider was actually he was the front man during what's her name? Al Gore's wife. Al Gore's wife in the 1980s was attempting to clean up the radio waves from this, what do you call it, this scourge of metal and this scourge of, sort of explicit lyrics and things like that. She's actually the reason why that explicit lyric sort of badge is on a lot of CDs when they do involve swear words and things like that. Now, Dee Snider was actually called in during this entire process at one point, and they thought, you know what, he's this guy who dresses up as a woman on stage, faffs about a large amount of times. No, we got this. He's an alcoholic. He doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't know anything about what he's actually being sort of called up for. And he pitches up in court in torn jeans, pulls out this folio paper that he'd folded out of his back pocket, and then proceeds to destroy everybody in the legal court using legal terms, absolutely just rips them to shreds.
Really now?
Yeah. They accused him of, like, putting these thoughts into kids' minds and things like that. And like, they were recording from some of his lyrics. And he sat there and I was like, but, well, if you're the people who can pick up on this, then doesn't that mean that your mind is already dirty at one point?
That's quite
Al,
hardcore.
Al Gore almost jumped out of his seat at this guy.
Jesse.
And this is all because of, like, people actually being smart in the metal scene. We think that they're stupid a lot of the time. They headbang, they drink. Lemmy obviously had such toxic blood that he probably should have died about 20 years ago before he actively died. But he didn't. I think he just self-preserved himself.
Like embalming himself.
Honestly, and it's weird. Like, I mean, they were doing like hardcore drugs. Elvis died because of softcore drugs. So what does that tell us?
People, I don't know. People's bodies react differently.
When did Elvis die?
I don't know.
No, how old was he?
He died young, I think.
Yeah, 30 something, wasn't it?
No, about.
He wasn't of the 28. He wasn't part of the 28 club.
No, 1977, and he was born 35, so 42.
Okay, well that's still oldish, but it's not 70.
Yeah, no, fair point. But yeah. I mean, what did he die of again? Drug overdose?
Broken heart, man. Broken heart.
Shush, man.
Too many sad songs.
Then there was Jailhouse Rock, which was farthest thing from sad.
Huh.
Alright.
Okay.
I think it's time for music. We've been talking about it forever.
Yeah.
Music!
So yes, we'll start playing some of this music for you guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Bravura, for joining us on this madcap musical mayhem podcast. We really appreciate having you. Obviously, we'll extend the invitation again sometime. Also, there's that final point that I do want to speak about. In 2 weeks' time, in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, on Friday the 14th.
Yes.
The Bravura is obviously coming down to South Africa to join us in what we would call the first, but it's the third or fourth south-afrifur convention.
But it's the first one under this banner, though.
Yes, it's the first one under this banner, with this particular group of people working on it. So yeah, we're very, very happy to have you, Bravura. So obviously, what we will be doing on that day is, or not on that day, but throughout that weekend, is we'll probably do a lot of recording and things like that with Bravura, so that we can actually have, like, you know, snippets of what happened during the convention. If that obviously depends on whether we actually have internet in the area. If there is working internet, we'll try to live stream it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, people, I will play me in real life.
But we'll let you know as things get closer. So, yeah, and not to mention the fact that Bravura is our guest of honor. And also, he will have to have a guest speaker position. Bravura is obviously very, very frightened of this. Radio DJ to, like, over, 300 people at a time, a lot of the time. And you're afraid of speaking to, like, you know, under 100 people at any given point. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm really super afraid every time when I have to speech in front of some people, or if the people are asking me something. That's super horrible for me.
Huh.
I know it's weird, but yeah, I'm getting super afraid about stuff like that.
It's okay. The more you worry ahead of time, the more your heart begins to beat.
Does it make that better?
You'll be fine, man.
I don't know yet.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. It's okay. You won't make...
Do you have beer?
We have beer.
Of course there's beer.
Okay, then I think we can do that.
Yeah.
No, just joking. Mao.
Alright.
Get up. I will sit there and say, Mao. Mao.
We flew you all the way for you to just sit there and meow to us.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I'm really looking forward to the convention, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
That will be an
no.
awesome weekend.
No, we hopefully promise that it will be an amazing weekend.
Yeah. We would like
Yeah.
it to be amazing.
It should be. It should be pretty cool. I think. The amount of work that we've done towards this thing at this point, I think that it'll actually go very well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be playing music within the next 10 or so minutes. As soon as I get set up, then I'm gonna obviously start off. Listen for the famous Matthew Ebel jingle that will be coming in beforehand, and then obviously we'll start off with one of the songs in this list chosen at random. And to kick off until 12 o'clock this evening. That's German time as well as South African time, so keep your ears open, and we'll be bringing you guys some music from my side as much as possible.
Cool.
So, cheerio.
Thanks again for being on here, Bravura, and
you.
to everyone else, we'll see you around.
See you next time.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.